Asphasia is one of the best examples we have of induction. Asphasia was a Greek woman who was very famous for her rhetoric, and one of her most famous examples of induction, she used induction to prove that her opponent wanted a better wife than the one he had. I'll be playing Asphasia in the following two examples. The first example is going to show what would have happened if Asphasia hadn't used induction. The second example will show what happened when Asphasia used induction. Now, wouldn't you prefer a better wife than the one you have right now?
Of course not.
In this next scenario, you'll see how Asphasia used induction to prove that her opponent did want a better wife. What about if your neighbor had a better house than you? Which house would you prefer?
Well, his, I suppose.
What about if your neighbor had a better car than you? Which car would you prefer?
His better car.
And what if your neighbor had a better wife than you? Which wife would you prefer? In the next two scenarios, I'm going to show you how induction can be used in mock trial. Just like in the Asphasia examples, the first one will not be using induction. The second one will be using induction. Now, this is going to be material from the case last year, so most of you won't recognize it. Basically, all you need to know is that the witness on stand is a doctor trying to prove that calcium carbonate is a rare substance in the Midlands area, and me, an attorney, is trying to prove that it isn't. Now, calcium carbonate is not a rare substance in the Midlands area, correct?
Actually, it is a rare substance.
In the next scenario, you'll see how induction can be used in mock trial. Now, calcium carbonate can be found at the Calkins Cliffs, correct?
Yes.
And it can be found at, let's say, a baseball field, correct?
I suppose so, yes.
And there are about 24 baseball fields in the Midlands area.
Yes.
And calcium carbonate can also be found in construction sites, correct?
Yes.
And what about golf courses? Can calcium carbonate be found there?
On occasion, it's been known to.
Now, in the Asphasia example, Asphasia is able to convince her opponent and get her opponent to agree to her final point, as you saw. In mock trial, you're very rarely going to get a witness to agree to your final point. Therefore, induction should be used to prove the undisputed facts and then stop there. Don't ask about the final point. Use those undisputed facts that the witness agrees to in your final argument and link them to your final point where they can't argue.